I push the door open and the world goes silent. The kind of silence that wraps around your throat and steals the breath before it can rise. The kind of silence that warns you that something inside your home has shifted forever. And I step inside with the weight of a long day still clinging to my shoulders, hoping to breathe and rest and smile. But before I can even call out her name, I hear it. The soft, broken trembling of my daughter's voice drifting from the living room. A sound so fragile it makes my heart stop in its place, like the world is holding its breath with me. I move slowly, my steps light, like I am walking toward the edge of a cliff, afraid that one wrong breath will crumble the ground beneath me. And when I turn the corner, everything inside me turns to ice, because there she is, my little girl, my child, my heartbeat, on her knees, on the cold floor, shoulders shaking, eyes red with tears, hands pressed together as if she is praying to someone who cannot hear her. And she is begging, "Please don't do this. Please, I will do anything. Just don't tear us apart. Don't destroy our family." The words hit me like waves, pulling me under. And I want to rush to her. I want to take her into my arms and shield her from whatever darkness has reached her. But something stops me. Something in the way she looks up. Not at me, not yet, but at the figure standing over her. A shadow, tall and heavy, blocking the light, casting her in darkness. A shadow I recognize before my mind wants to accept it. A shadow that belongs to someone who should never have made her cry. Someone who should have been the safe person in this house. And I feel my knees weaken because the world is not supposed to twist like this. The people we trust are not supposed to become storms. The walls of our home are not supposed to echo with the sound of a child begging for mercy. I stay hidden for a moment, my heart pounding so hard it shakes my chest as I try to understand what I am seeing, what I am hearing, why her voice sounds like it has been scraped raw by fear. But I can't move. I am frozen, stuck between the instinct to protect her and the terror of knowing the truth that is unfolding right before me. She lifts her head just enough for me to see the streaks of tears glistening on her cheeks, and she whispers again, her voice softer this time, like it is fading. "Please, don't ruin everything, please. I promise I didn't mean to. Please, just don't hurt us. Don't take this away from us." And the shadow steps closer, and she flinches so hard it tears something inside me, a deep, sharp tearing that feels like the world splitting open. I want to scream. I want to run. I want to pull her away from whatever threat stands above her, but my body refuses to move, like fear has wrapped itself around my bones and locked me in place while my mind spins and spins, trying to understand what she has done, what she believes she deserves to beg for like this. Then I hear the shadow speak, a low, cold voice that drips into the silence like poison. "You should have kept quiet. You should have known better. You should have stayed in your place. And now you want me to forget everything you did? You think begging is enough?" She bows her head again, trembling so hard it hurts to watch. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to stand and witness it. And she whispers, "I didn't do anything wrong. I swear I didn't. Please, just don't take it out on Mom. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't deserve this. Please, please leave her out of it." My breath locks in my throat. The room spins and I feel something rising inside me, something fierce, something protective, something that has been asleep for too long. A fire waking up in my chest, a storm gathering behind my ribs, because whatever is happening, my daughter is on her knees begging for me, begging that I be spared, and that is enough. That is more than enough to turn my fear into a blade. The shadow shifts as if preparing to speak again, to threaten her, to break her spirit further. And that is the moment something inside me snaps and unfreezes, and I step forward into the light, my voice shaking but strong enough to cut through the air, and I say her name once, just once, soft but powerful, enough to make both of them freeze. Her head jerks up, her eyes widen with shock, fear, relief, all tangled together, and she whispers, "Mom, no, no, go back, please go back. Please don't be here, please, I'm begging you, please." But I am here. I am standing right here, and I can finally see the fear in her eyes and the guilt and the helplessness and the unbearable weight she has been carrying alone. And I know I cannot step back. I cannot pretend I didn't hear her pleas. I cannot unsee her tears. I cannot unhear the way she begged for our family like it was slipping through her fingers. The shadow turns slowly, and I meet the eyes of the person who has pushed my daughter to her knees, the person who dared to make her beg, the person who thought they could break her without consequences. And the fire in my chest burns brighter, stronger, louder, until it becomes the only thing I feel. And I step forward, ready to tear apart whatever darkness has taken root in my home. Because my daughter is still on her knees, still shaking, still pleading silently with her eyes, and I know this is only the beginning. The storm has just begun. And chapter 1 of this story ends, not with peace, not with answers, but with a mother standing between her child and the shadow that threatens to break them both. The moment the shadow turns to face me, the air changes. It thickens like smoke, filling my lungs, making every breath feel heavy and sharp. And for a second, it is as if the house itself is holding still, waiting to see what happens next, waiting to see who breaks first, me, or the darkness that has wrapped itself around my daughter. My daughter is still on her knees, trembling, her hands pressed against her chest as if she is trying to hold her heart in place. And the fear in her eyes is so raw, so piercing, that it pushes me forward even when every instinct in me is screaming to be careful, to move slowly, to understand before acting. But a mother does not wait when her child is on the floor, begging for mercy. A mother does not stand still when her little girl is shaking like the world is ending inside her bones. I look at the shadow fully now, and the shape of it becomes clear. The outline, the posture, the familiar weight of someone I once trusted. Someone who stood in this house, laughing, sharing meals, pretending to be part of our safety. But now, the truth stands in front of me, wearing a familiar face, twisted into something cruel and cold. A face I thought I knew, a voice I used to let speak freely in our home, and now it drips with threat I never imagined possible. My daughter whispers again, "Please, Mom, go back. Please don't get involved. Please, he will make it worse. Please." And I feel her words tug at me with desperation, but I cannot step back. Not now. Not when the truth is spilling into the room like water from a broken pipe, flooding everything we built, everything we believed was solid. The shadow speaks again, and this time the voice is sharp and bitter. "You should not be here. You have no idea what she has done." And I almost laugh, because the audacity of that sentence, the attempt to twist the blame away from the pain he has caused, is so absurd, it nearly knocks me back. But anger steadies me. Anger sharpens me. Anger becomes the flame that lights the darkness around us. I take another step forward, and my daughter reaches out her hand, as if trying to stop me, her fingers trembling inches from my leg, her voice cracking. "Please, Mom, don't. He will destroy everything. Please. I can handle this. I can fix it. Just don't fight him. Don't challenge him. Please." Hearing her say she can handle it tears something open inside me, because she should never have had to handle anything like this alone. She should never have had to kneel on this cold floor pleading for our survival. She should never have believed that suffering in silence would save us. She should never have thought that begging was the only way to keep us safe. I kneel beside her, slowly, letting my presence form a shield around her. Her eyes widen with shock, and she shakes her head repeatedly, like she cannot believe I am choosing to stand with her instead of backing away. and she whispers through broken breaths, "Mom, please, I'm scared. Please don't make him angry. Please." And I feel her words tug at me with desperation. But I cannot step back. Not now. Not when the truth is spilling into the room like water from a broken pipe, flooding everything we built, everything we believed was solid. The shadow speaks again, and this time the voice is sharp and bitter. "You should not be here. You have no idea what she has done." And I almost laugh, because the audacity of that sentence, the attempt to twist the blame away from the pain he has caused, is so absurd it nearly knocks me back. But anger steadies me. Anger sharpens me. Anger becomes the flame that lights the darkness around us. I take another step forward, and my daughter reaches out her hand as if trying to stop me, her fingers trembling inches from my leg, her voice cracking. "Please, Mom, don't. He will destroy everything. Please. I can handle this. I can fix it. Just don't fight him. Don't challenge him. Please." Hearing her say she can handle it tears something open inside me, because she should never have had to handle anything like this alone. She should never have had to kneel on this cold floor pleading for our survival. She should never have believed that suffering in silence would save us. She should never have thought that begging was the only way to keep us safe. I kneel beside her slowly, letting my presence form a shield around her. Her eyes widen with shock, and she shakes her head repeatedly, like she cannot believe I'm choosing to stand with her instead of backing away. And she whispers through broken breaths, "Mom, please, I'm scared. Please don't make him angry. Please." And I take her trembling hands gently, lifting them from the ground, her skin cold and damp from tears and fear. And I whisper softly, with nothing but love in my voice, "You never have to kneel like this again. Not for him, not for anyone, not while I am still breathing." The shadow steps closer as if challenged, as if trying to reassert power, but I rise to my feet with a steadiness I did not know I still had, and I position myself between him and my daughter, letting the fire in my chest grow into something fierce, something unstoppable, something that has been sleeping for too long. He tries to speak again, tries to twist the truth, tries to paint her as the cause of this chaos. But the words come out shaky, like he can already feel the shift in the room, like he can sense that he no longer controls the fear he once used to bend her, like he no longer holds the advantage that kept her silent and small. My daughter curls in on herself behind me, covering her ears as if preparing for an explosion. And the sight of her flinching breaks something inside me so completely that all the fear, all the hesitation burns away, leaving only one truth glowing like embers in my heart. My daughter will never be afraid in her own home again. He takes another step forward, and I take one too, my voice low but filled with strength that does not need to shout. "You will not speak to her again. You will not threaten her again. You will not step near her again." I see the flicker of fear in his eyes, then denial, then rage, but none of it matters anymore because I'm not moving. I'm not breaking. I'm not letting him hurt her one more time. He tries to intimidate me with words that fall flat. Words that once held power but now sound empty, hollow, lifeless. Because the moment I saw my child on her knees, begging for our family, something in me woke up. Something ancient, something primal, something terrifying in its love. Something that will tear down the earth before it lets her cry like that again. He steps back for the first time, and my daughter notices. She peeks up through her tears, her breath hitching, as she watches him falter. And for the first time in this nightmare, her eyes carry a spark of hope. Small, fragile, but there. And it is enough to push me further. I walk toward him slowly, deliberately, and he retreats another step, then another until the confidence drains from his stance, replaced with uncertainty, replaced with the realization that whatever power he held has just slipped through his fingers like sand. My voice stays steady, not loud, not violent, just unwavering. You will not speak to her again. You will not threaten her again. You will not step near her again. I see the flicker of fear in his eyes, then denial, then rage, but none of it matters anymore because I'm not moving. I'm not breaking. I'm not letting him hurt her one more time. He tries to intimidate me with words that fall flat, words that once held power but now sound empty, hollow, lifeless. Because the moment I saw my child on her knees, begging for our family, something in me woke up. Something ancient, something primal, something terrifying in its love, something that will tear down the earth before it lets her cry like that again. He steps back for the first time, and my daughter notices. She peeks up through her tears, her breath hitching, as she watches him falter, and for the first time in this nightmare, her eyes carry a spark of hope, small, fragile, but there. And it is enough to push me further. I walk toward him slowly, deliberately, and he retreats another step, then another until the confidence drains from his stance, replaced with uncertainty, replaced with the realization that whatever power he held has just slipped through his fingers like sand. My voice stays steady, not loud, not violent, just unwavering. You will not speak to her again. You will not threaten her again. You will not step near her again. I see the flicker of fear in his eyes, then denial, then rage. But none of it matters anymore because I'm not moving. I'm not breaking. I'm not letting him hurt her one more time. He tries to intimidate me with words that fall flat, words that once held power but now sound empty, hollow, lifeless. Because the moment I saw my child on her knees, begging for our family, something in me woke up. Something ancient, something primal, something terrifying in its love, something that will tear down the earth before it lets her cry like that again. He steps back for the first time, and my daughter notices. She peeks up through her tears, her breath hitching as she watches him falter, and for the first time in this nightmare, her eyes carry a spark of hope, small, fragile, but there. And it is enough to push me further. I walk toward him slowly, deliberately, and he retreats another step, then another until the confidence drains from his stance, replaced with uncertainty, replaced with the realization that whatever power he held has just slipped through his fingers like sand. My voice stays steady, not loud, not violent, just unwavering. You will not leave this house now. You will not return. You will not contact her. You will not haunt these walls again because this house is mine. Her words hang in the air like a trembling chord, still vibrating even after the sound has faded, and I feel them echo inside my chest, deeper than breath, deeper than bone. And for a moment, I cannot speak. My arms still wrapped around her, my heartbeat pressed against her shaking body as I whisper gently, tell me everything." But her eyes drop to the floor as if the truth she carries is too heavy to hold up to the light. She pulls away slowly, not to distance herself from me, but to make room for what she needs to say. Her hands twisting together, her fingers trembling with the weight of days, maybe weeks, maybe months spent carrying a secret that has been crushing her from the inside. And I brace myself, heart pounding with the fear of what could possibly be worse than what I already saw. She draws in a small, broken breath and finally speaks, her voice thin like a thread fraying at the edges. "Mom, he wasn't just threatening me today. This has been happening for a long time." And those words sink into me like stones dragged into deep, dark water, and the world tilts, the room spinning around us in a slow, impossible circle. She keeps talking, her voice shaking but determined, as if the truth is trying to claw its way out of her chest. "Mom, he has been coming here when you are not home. He tells me I caused problems, that I ruined things for him, and that I need to obey, or he will punish us, or take everything from us." And every word she says slices through me because I can hear the fear behind her voice, the fear she has had to swallow every single day. I reach for her hands, holding them tightly, and I whisper, "You should have told me. You never should have faced this alone." And she shakes her head, tears spilling again, as she says, "I tried to, But every time I opened my mouth, he would show up again. He would tell me that if I said anything, he would destroy everything you worked for, everything we have. He made me believe I had no choice. Her voice cracks, then breaks, and she covers her face with her hands as if ashamed, as if blaming herself for being trapped in a nightmare she never chose. And I pull her close again, letting her sob into my shoulder, letting her shake out all the fears she held inside. Because no child, no girl, no human should ever be made to kneel in her own home and beg to be spared. When her crying softens, I guide her gently to the couch and we sit, her tucked against my side as if she's trying to hide in the space between my heartbeat and my ribs. And she keeps talking, the pieces of her story coming out in fragile fragments like glass shards she has been holding onto for too long. She tells me how he started with small threats, the kind that sounded almost like warnings, how he made her believe she was the problem, how he convinced her that silence would keep peace in our home, how he walked around with a quiet coldness that made her dread the sound of keys turning in the lock. She whispers that she tried to protect me, that she believed if she stayed quiet, if she kneeled, if she pleaded, if she bent far enough, he might leave us alone. She thought sacrifice was the price of survival. She thought obedience was the way to keep me safe, even if it broke her piece by piece. Hearing this burns something savage inside me, a fire that spreads through my veins, filling me with a rage so deep it shakes my bones. Because my daughter, my little girl, believed she had to kneel to save me, believed she had to suffer for us, believed she had to stay silent or lose everything. I hold her face gently, lifting her chin so she has to meet my eyes, and I tell her softly but fiercely, "You are never responsible for his cruelty. You are never the cause of his threats. You are never to blame for the darkness he brought into this house. You did nothing wrong. Nothing." And she cries harder because the truth is too heavy, too new, too unfamiliar after carrying so much guilt for so long. When her sobs finally ease, she leans into me, breathing slowly as if learning how to breathe again. And I stroke her hair and whisper over and over, "You are safe. You are safe. You are safe." But deep inside, I know safety is only the beginning. There are calls to make, actions to take, steps to ensure that Shadow never returns, steps to protect her, steps to reclaim our home from the remnants of his threats. But right now, right in this fragile moment, she needs gentleness more than justice. She needs comfort more than confrontation. She needs a mother more than anything else. Slowly, she sits up, wiping her face with the back of her hand, her voice softer now, but steady, as she says, "Mom, there's more." And my heart tightens again, bracing itself for whatever truth still waits to be spoken. She tells me she found messages on his phone months ago, lies he told others about us, stories he twisted to make himself look like the victim and us the problem. She overheard him on calls saying he would get rid of us if we caused trouble, saying he had ways to make sure we never spoke, saying he could take everything and leave us with nothing. She explains that today, he came to force her to rewrite his lies, to make her record something to protect him, to shield him from consequences, to keep him safe while she bore the blame. He wanted her to kneel so he could feel powerful. He wanted her to beg so he could believe he still controlled this house. He wanted her fear as proof he still owned our silence. And that is when she breaks again, whispering, "I didn't think you would believe me. I thought I was being exaggerating or making things up. I didn't want to ruin everything you worked for." And hearing that shreds something inside of me. Because the fact that she ever doubted my love, the fact that she ever questioned whether I would believe her, hurts more than any threat he made. I pull her into my arms again, holding her so tight she melts into me, and I whisper with every breath, I will always believe you. Always, no matter what, no matter who, no matter how dark the truth may be. You are my child, my heart, my home. And nothing you say could ever push me away from you. Slowly, the tension in her shoulders softens, and for the first time, she breathes without trembling, her body finally allowing itself to rest after carrying a truth too big for her young heart. I feel a shift inside her, a softening, a release, as if she's handing me the burden she held for too long, trusting that I can carry it now. And I will. I will carry every piece of this truth. I will carry every shard of pain, every fear she swallowed, every tremor in her voice, because she should never have been the one holding it alone. The house feels different now, lighter, even though the truth is heavy, quieter, even though our breaths are uneven, warmer, even though the storm outside this room is still building, because the darkness is no longer hiding, and secrets are no longer gnawing at her spirit, and the shadow that haunted her has been pushed out. As the night deepens, she curls into my side, her head on my shoulder, her breathing softer, steadier, and I know she is drifting into the first peaceful sleep she has allowed herself in months, maybe longer. And I sit with her, holding her, letting her rest, letting her heal, letting her reclaim her place in this home. But I do not sleep. My eyes remain open, watching the door, listening to the distant hum of the world outside this fragile quiet, watching over her like a shield carved from all the fire inside me. Because I know the story is not over. I know the storm has not fully passed. I know justice is coming, and consequences are marching closer with every breath I draw. But for tonight, for this moment, for this heartbeat, my daughter sleeps safely in my arms. And that is enough. That is everything. And when dawn rises, we will face the world together. We will rebuild. We will protect. We will speak. We will no longer kneel to shadows, but stand in the light of truth, united, unbroken, unafraid.
If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Every single subscription motivates me to bring you even more exciting and dramatic HOA stories. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. I'll see you in the next story, where justice gets even more satisfying.